I've known Rick for a long time, been associated with him in both a social life and a business life. He has a way that whatever he gets involved in, he seems to accomplish everything he sets his mind to. And in the business life, there's a ripple effect. He meets all the criteria of an entrepreneur, and you know, he has vision, he has leadership, he has motivation, self-discipline, perception, all of those adjectives, and the list goes on. Rick has them all.
He is a man who has the ability to see what is, to recognize and to be able to visualize what can be, and to help make it happen.
Rick has a lot of vision. He's the kind of a guy that is willing to take what I call calculated risk in making his company grow, and that is the big part it is the part that has made J Industries so successful.
If you know his dad, you know that his dad's love for the Y, for the Scouts, his dad has been there forever, and just, I think he's a chip off the old block. He really is. And his dad still goes to the factory every day and still puts in long hours. He loves it. Rick's absolutely a clone. He's the same kind of person.
I'm like all other fathers. I think their children are probably the best. In most cases, they are very good kids. We had 6, and I'm very proud of all of them. Rick happens to be in the limelight now and doing an excellent job in many endeavors in the civic area. I'm very proud of him. Both my wife and I are.
You know, when I was a kid growing up, it was just kind of assumed that anybody could go to Westinghouse or Tappan or one of the manufacturing plants and get a job. In my lifetime, I've seen that change. The manufacturing part of this economy in Richland County has disappeared. But here's a contrarian like Rick Taylor, grew up in the business of manufacturing and decided to do something different. So instead of accepting death, he's had a rebirth of the manufacturing business in Richland County.
I think his ability to look at the overall picture with his businesses and to connect and have the vision to know where his company is going to, his companies are going to, and his ability to, he's a wonderful businessman, surrounds himself with great people, but he's the leader, it's quite clear. He is the person in charge, and his people respect him greatly, and I think that's a great trade, you know, when you can grow businesses like he has and still have the respect of your people. That's a real asset.
I seen him take a company that was about 50 or 60 people employed and bring it to where it is today, where we have over 1,200 employees. And I would have to say, in a period of time, 26 years, that's quite an accomplishment.
I think that Rick, through a variety of capacities, has had a tremendous impact on our community. I think not only through his professional affairs and his businesses, helping people with their employment and putting food on the table for their families, but also through his commitment to our community and all that goes along with that.
Well, I'm particularly proud of the fundraising he's done and the time he's spent in getting the new Y in.
In any business project, you have to determine, is there a need? And I think he used that same philosophy on the Y. It was outdated, and Rick just took that project on, and in a very quiet, subtle manner, he began to plan it. Then after you've got the plan in place, then you have to raise the capital.
Oh, Rick was very much a key player in the capital campaign. He probably participated in 90 or 95% of the calls that were made. Everything from the local level up to the state level, and talking to a variety of businesses.
It's the most successful Y campaign, capital campaign in the whole country. And when you drive by that building today, you can't help but be very, very proud of it. That building, I do not believe would be there had it not been for Rick Taylor. What a gift to this community.
Rick is of nature, he realized that the community has given a lot to him, and he in turn has repaid it and is continuing to repay what he's taken.
He's a very committed family man, and he and his wife, Carol, are both very committed to the community, and I think it's demonstrated through their community service and the way they treat other people.
Most entrepreneurs put their family first, and then those others around them, their employees and their associates, and then the community. And I see all three of that happening in Rick Taylor's life.
He seems to be able to balance his tremendous load of work with his community service and with his family and still have a good time with it. You know, he just is able, he's able to always have a smile and balance all of that. It's amazing how he has such balance in his life with all he does.
He's very perceptive. You know, I've sat on some meetings with him or at tables with him, and sometimes I'm rather old, he's a little younger. You may have to tell me twice, but Rick always gets it the first time.
He appreciates finer things like the symphony. I sit across from him at the symphony, and he usually works so hard that that's when he rests, pretty much with his head on Carol's shoulder.
I called Rick, don't remember what the question was. Point is, they had to bring him in off the floor. He took the time to come in, answer the phone, and I could just tell from his voice, he was very optimistic. And I said something to him of that nature, and he said, well, I look at every phone call as an opportunity. And you know, I never forgot that. And I try to answer the phone calls today the same way. What an experience, and what a learning lesson.
I think when you look at Rick Taylor, what you see is what you get. He doesn't play games. He doesn't put on airs. I think he's a man of the people and a man of the community. He's honest. He is a man of integrity.
It is my pleasure to introduce the 2005 Chairman's Award recipient, Mr. Rick Taylor.